Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here with Life as a Shonen. If you are enjoying the content in our channel, don't forget to like our videos and go ahead and subscribe. Well, hey everybody, I'm Mr. Abyss here to bring y'all this week's release for DC Dark Knight's Batman the Dawnbreaker. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. Recently I've become a much bigger fan of Green Lantern than I previously was. I caught up a little bit on Blackest Night, read some more of that. So, it's fun to transition that into reading Dark Knight Dawnbreaker. We start off the issue in Earth -32. So once again, we're back in the multiverse. You open up with, the classic scene of Joe Chill killing Bruce Wayne's mother and father. But the differences start very quickly. Instead of continuing on and becoming Batman, instantly he's made pretty much a sociopath. His feeling of fear instantly disappears. He remarks that, when I stood there helpless as my mom and dad's blood were running into the gutter, I felt nothing. Not even fear. And that's when you see the Green Lantern ring actually make its way towards a running Bruce Wayne. It lets him know, Bruce Wayne, you have the ability to overcome great fear. I welcome you to the Green Lantern Corps. But this Bruce had not overcome any sort of fear. It was strictly removed from his body. There's no work in that. There's no willpower in that. The first thing this Bruce does is go straight to find Joe Kill. He didn't really have a grasp of his ring powers, but he knows that this is power, and I can bring justice to the man who took my mother and father. When he finally catches up with Joe Chill, he corners him and begins to attack him with the Green Lantern ring. At this time and place, the Green Lantern ring still has the rule in effect. They cannot use deadly force against anyone. It's only concussive knocking out blows. The ring begins to malfunction, though. This is Bruce Wayne we're talking about. It's Batman. There's not too many people on this planet with more willpower than him. So the Green Lantern ring starts to overload strictly from the willpower that Bruce can wield. And from strict willpower alone, Bruce erases his ring's connection to the first Green Lantern law, and is now permitted deadly force. And sequentially, he erases Joe Chill from this world. This thing gets dark really quick. The very next thing he does is return to the bodies of his dead mother and father, and tries to use the ring to bring them back to life. But they're just lifeless hulks. They look like zombies, but they're still moving because he's making them move. They can kind of say words, but nothing more than, Bruce, we love you, which causes him to lose it even more than he already is. He remarks that he feels helpless, that he's falling alone in a void. This is very important, so don't forget that void. Things have kind of continued as they would normally have Batman been Bruce Wayne. He's still right now filling the role of Gotham's protector. He meets with Jim Gordon on top of the roof, but the interaction is much different than our Bruce and Jim Gordon. Gordon is fearing for his life merely by being in the presence of this Bruce Wayne. Bruce says to himself that they called me hero at first, but that title did not last very long. I killed without remorse or boundaries. Why did they deserve to live when my parents did not? Which you can't really argue with him too much. I mean, yeah, it's bad that he's killing them, but these are the worst people in Gotham City. They've murdered thousands. How are we going to stop them if we don't stop them? Jim Gordon and Bruce continue their back and forth, and he realizes that the reason Jim Gordon called him there was to let him know that the Penguin is still out there among everyone. I know this Bruce is going out and murdering people, but we still need to catch these killers. So Bruce crashes into Penguin's hideout, and it's actually a pretty cool scene because the first thing they do is start losing their minds. Saying, Christ, he's going to murder us. We have to kill him first. They know the reputation that Bruce has and that he is merciless. If you are breaking the law in his city, you're going to die. And just that happens. The next panel we have is Jim Gordon coming at Bruce, asking him, what did you do? Why do you keep doing this? Where is the Penguin? And here's where this Bruce kind of falls into the path of darkness. It shows him floating above the henchmen of Penguin, firing guns at him, which, they're not affecting him at all. He's got his little Green Lantern protection barrier. But the power he's about to use is nothing like the traditional Green Lantern powers that we know. The ring starts talking and saying, initiating blackout. The world turns into complete darkness, and all you see is the Green Lantern symbol and the eyes of Batman glowing in the darkness. He says that I cracked the ring open and pushed it far past the light. I let the darkness inside of me escape, and I was not alone anymore. And in the darkness, all you hear is this monstrous scream. And you see the voices of, the voices of Penguin's henchmen screaming in terror, saying, "Oh God, oh God," and it blacks out again. The light comes back on, and you see Bruce holding Penguin by the throat in the air, telling him, you are trash, Penguin. You rob and kill in my city, and I'm sick of it. It's time for this to end. And I swear they just keep getting more and more ruthless. I think this guy right now, I love the Red Death, but he is easily my favorite. This Batman is brutal. He takes Penguin, grabs him by the head, flies into space, and finds an area where a meteor shower is occurring. The moment the meteor shower gets close, he lets go of the Penguin, and he is just ripped apart by these small meteorites. I mean, you get to see the inside of Penguin floating through space. And he tells Jim Gordon, if you're looking for the Penguin, all you have to do is look up. See, there's his spleen, there's his stomach, there's his brains. This Bruce is just he's completely lost his mind. And it happened really early. The other two Bruces we encountered were actually already grown men. They had been Batman. This version of Bruce never made it to the mantle of Batman. And Jim Gordon, though terribly afraid of this, he confronts him. Because at this point, Green Lantern's just murdering people. Ruthlessly. It doesn't matter if you're friend, foe, good or bad. If you're in the area while he's taking the enemy down, you might as well be collateral damage. And Gordon remarks to him, I don't care if you can kill me. Someone has to stand up to you. I know you're hurting. Bruce remarks that, Jim does not know him. He has no idea of his past, but Jim actually did some research into the world, and it coincided with the appearance of this Green Lantern to a night when 3 people were gunned down in the street, a la Bruce's mother and father. He knows that this Green Lantern is Bruce Wayne, and we know how Bruce feels about having his secret identity out. So he turns his ring on Jim Gordon and obliterates him, leaving absolutely nothing left. Not a speck. Bruce has killed Jim. Which is it's a shocking thing to see, because Bruce and Jim Gordon have had they're very close. They fight crime together. They try to run this city back to where it should be together. Jim as the police, Bruce as Batman. And right as he turns away after killing Jim Gordon, the ring begins to alert him of the incoming presence of Green Lanterns. And Bruce is instantly surrounded by a giant force of the Green Lanterns, with actually all of the Guardians there too. You would think that he's quite outmatched in this area. The Guardians are, from what I've seen reading back into the Green Lantern mythos, they're very, very, very powerful. Wildly powerful. Much more so than regular Green Lanterns. So Bruce shouldn't be able to do anything here, but, as they remark, he's a damaged Green Lantern. He's a little different. He allowed the darkness to come into his ring and take it completely over. He has corrupted the Green Lantern ring and has the ability now to corrupt all of the Green Lanterns themselves. He has to be stopped. He's got to be removed from the equation. Then the ring says, initiating blackout. The next panel you have is a very, very cool scene where it's kind of zoomed out and you see all of the Green Lanterns and all of the Guardians surrounded by these horrible monstrosity constructs that Bruce has created in this darkness. I mean, they're horrific. Multiple eyes, tentacles everywhere, teeth gnashing, and in the next few minutes you get the complete and utter obliteration of the entire Green Lantern Corps, with all the Guardians as well. In fact, there is only one left. And he looks up to Bruce, begging, please stop. This darkness that you're letting in, it will destroy everything, even you. This Bruce is not listening to him. Might as well be a mouse talking to him. And one of the monsters grabs the Guardian's head and rips it off of his body. But you see really the weakness and character of this Bruce. He may not feel fear, but he's completely given in to the hopelessness. There's nothing there for him. He has this powerful weapon and he still feels vulnerable. Still feels helpless. Like at any moment someone could come back and enact upon him what Joe Chill did earlier in his life. And he can't handle this. He didn't want to be Bruce Wayne. He doesn't want to be a Green Lantern. He wants to be something that he's reminded about when he was a small child, being submerged into the shadows beneath his father and mother's house. So instead of being a Green Lantern, instead of being Bruce Wayne, he becomes Batman the Dawnbreaker. With every donning of a Green Lantern ring, you have to give the oath. Bruce's oath is not the same as our traditional Green Lantern oath. Instead, it is with darkness black I choke the light. No brightest day escapes my sight. I turn the dawn to midnight. Beware my power, Dawnbreaker's might. And he looks cool as hell. He's still got the bat symbol on his chest, but over that is also a Green Lantern symbol. His eyes are covered, so you get the green glow coming out of them constantly. So it's a pretty creepy Batman. And he has these little constructs of bats flying around with him. But at that very moment, the moment he achieves this new status in his mind, this new goal, this new idea of who he's going to be, as with all the other Dark Multiverse worlds, it begins to crumble and come to pieces. And instantly he realizes this void that's starting to consume his world feels just like the darkness that he let into his own ring. So he knows it's over. There's nothing anyone can do. This thing is just meant to destroy. It consumes all light. Enter the Batman who laughs. He always appears at these really opportune moments, the last moment where it's either, hey, join me, or die with this world. But for the first time, you actually get to see he's not here alone. He brought all three of his evil Robins with him, as well as the Red Death and the Murder Machine. And they're kneeling on a rock floating in the darkness. Pretty much it's just soldiers. They've completely given in to following the Batman who laughs orders. They are servants of Barbados. The Dawnbreaker's he's floating through space pretty much at this point. Earth has come apart, and the Batman who laughs gives him a choice. There's a world bathed in light up there where the people are fools. You know, he's not, with the other two, he kind of told them, I'll bring your world back. You work for my master, you do what we need, you become a soldier for us, then you can have that world up there, turn it into whatever you want. But for this iteration of Bruce, it's a little different. What he tells him is that there's a world up there bathed in light. The people are fools, and they deserve to be dragged into the darkness. And as a warrior of the darkness, it's your fate to go out there and extinguish the light. This is what you are here for. And if you do it, Barbados will spare you from oblivion. And he will give you back what you most desire, which is your parents. Will you kneel, or will you die? Of course, the Dawnbreaker joins him. And we are brought back finally into our multiverse on Earth Zero. I mean, you get right into it. Dawnbreaker is already descending upon Coast City. He sees the light and it disgusts him. He thinks they're foolish people for living this way. They need to be shown what true darkness is. And as the Dawnbreaker, he's here to show them. He starts to initialize another blackout like he did in his multiverse when he destroyed the Green Lanterns and the Guardians, but is interrupted by Hal Jordan. And Hal Jordan even remarks, he has a power ring, but I don't feel anything. Even with Green Lanterns, they're there to overcome fear. It's not the lack of fear. So you could still sense a little bit in them. When he analyzes what the Dawnbreaker is capable of, he realizes there's not a speck of fear in his body. That is not natural. That's something, sociopaths don't feel fear. They're emotionless. This Batman, this Dawnbreaker, is essentially an extremely powerful sociopath. Dawnbreaker turns to Hal and tells him, I hate to tell you, but I have killed countless Green Lantern before you. You're nothing to me, and I will do it again. Instantly, those darkness constructs that come out of his Green Lantern ring, those horrific monsters, just start to consume Hal Jordan. There's nothing he can do because apparently the darkness interferes with the powers of a normal Green Lantern ring. Hal Jordan's ring tells him the constructs are an unknown composition, and because of it, the power ring cannot operate normally. It is impossible to break out of these things. And they begin to consume Hal Jordan. Just like with the Red Death, just like with Murder Machine, the battle against these guys is over instantly, and there was nothing they ever could have done. The ring is starting to malfunction for Hal Jordan. He's being consumed by the darkness, and the only thing that saves him as well is Dr. Fate's symbol appears in the darkness, calling out again to Hal Jordan, telling him, quickly, you need to get in here. You're needed elsewhere. I know you need to save Coast City, but if you want to save even the multiverse, we've got to get out of here. You're dead if you don't. Dr. Fate summons him into a symbol for protection, and Hal Jordan is gone. And you get a 2-page spread where Coast City is getting wrecked by the Dawnbreaker. These horrific constructs, these gigantic bats trying to consume people, pretty much demons flying everywhere, attacking all the people, and the bat symbol is no longer under the control of Jim Gordon. It is now the Dawnbreakers, and it's having his symbol with the hole in the middle of the bat signal, signifying that's where the Green Lantern mark goes. And he initiates yet another blackout. With the strength that these Batmen have, these cities can't last very long. They're unstoppable. They murder without any remorse whatsoever. And you have an ending monologue for this issue. A world of light, a city of hope, disgusting. Let them feel helpless. Let them feel the void. Let them feel just like me. And with that, we come to the end of this issue. And now for some afterthoughts. Like I told y'all in the readings of the comic, this is not easily, because Red Death is really cool. Murder Machine, it's Cyborg. I'm not too big a fan of Cyborg, so I don't enjoy it as much as I would the others. But I really like Green Lanterns, and this Dawnbreaker is just the most badass Green Lantern I've ever seen. He's ruthless. These horrific constructs that are just monsters you can only see in your nightmare. That and the fact that Green Lanterns can't even fight him. Just the mere presence of his ring corrupts what they are. He has let the darkness in, and there's no way for any Green Lantern to stop him. I mean, he took out an entire Green Lantern Corps and all of the Guardians, who are wildly powerful. It keeps getting worse every week. I don't know how they're going to make it out of this. Just this team of these three Batmen alone would be a problem. But next week, they're going to bring to you the dark version of Aquaman, which his name is, I believe, Batman the Drowned. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, as little as I like Cyborg, there is no hero in all of the realm of DC that I dislike more than Aquaman. So I am prepared to enjoy this issue next week more than I've ever enjoyed a comic before in my entire life. And that's all for this week, guys. If you're enjoying our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Have a good day.